What is up, fence fam? Joe Everest, the fence expert. A few months ago, or a month or so ago, we visited with Josh Rand up in outside Salt Lake City in Heber City, Utah. Did a shop tour for the first ever shop tour series. Welcome to the second ever shop tour series. We find ourselves in Reno, Nevada, right ahead of the West Coast Fence Show. I had mentioned on the show wanting to do shop tours, and then I guess you'd probably seen that video and said, hey, if you're coming to West Coast Fence Show, we're here in town.
I figured may as well.
Absolutely.
We're gonna be here.
So we're here at Artistic Fence Company, which first and foremost, we were talking about great sign. I mean, it contrasts nicely. And these are probably your like a yard sign, the construction fence sign. They all look like this.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yep. No, it matches what we got out in the field. The only thing is the number on the bottom, but it matches the fence signs that we got. So
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Well, I tell you what. So tell us a little bit about. I guess first and foremost, could you introduce yourself to the folks at home?
Yeah. So my name's JoeDonn. I'm a third generation of the fence company. Company started in '63, and my grandpa started it, and my mom started running it after that. And then now I'm taking over with my sister. So just a local boy here trying to make some money.
Absolutely. So third generation family owned company, which means you came up, you didn't really have a choice probably as a kid. You just got thrown right into it.
This is what we lived for.
Now, and it's not only Reno, right? So we're in Reno now, but you've got a couple other offices as well.
Yeah, so we have an office in Carson City, and then we have another office in Winnemucca, which is in northern Nevada.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're trying to do everything all over the state.
Very good. And I would guess having a couple different locations just adds to the complexity that's already running a fence company. Oh, yeah. It's probably sometimes like running 3 separate fence companies.
100%, because they're all different.
Have different markets on. Yep. We were talking about just how localized the markets are, where you could go a half hour down the road and they'll have a totally different preference for wood composition, style, that sort of thing.
100%. It changes by office for sure. So it keeps us on our toes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, JoeDonn, if you don't mind showing us around, let's take a look at how Artistic Fence runs from the inside.
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. So when we walk in, the first thing that we see, one nice open office concept here, a retail table, or a retail counter that I think people are pretty familiar with coming into a supply house. So clean, professional. Also, you got a nice group of people in here also, so it's not waiting for somebody to come to the front, that sort of thing. Awesome.
Yep. One thing we have too is we have a little spot for when people come in with a set of plans.
Oh, nice.
Just pull that little hideaway table out.
And they sit right here.
Yep.
So no matter what's going on the counter or who has what out, you've always got a spot for a set of plans.
Always a spot for a set of plans.
I love that.
It's a little hideaway table. You can't even see it when it's under there.
Benefit of having a custom built bench, I bet.
Yep, 100%.
Nice. Yeah. So what roles are sitting in here?
So we have 2 estimators here. These are more my residential estimaters. Okay. Got a new one here, and she's training. She's doing an awesome job.
Sure.
The older estimator that we have here, he's been with us since 1990 or 89 or something like that. So he's
seen it all and done it all.
Yep, he knows what's going on. And then we got Stephanie's desk. She's the one making sure we're all doing what we're supposed to be doing and getting everything done behind the counter.
Okay. Keeping an eye on operations sort of thing.
Oh yeah, keeping all of us in line.
I like that you've got kind of an open group setting here to where no matter who's in the office, someone's here to greet customers walking in. Oh yeah. Not necessarily fence businesses I visit, but I always hate walking into a non-chain to buy something and you got to ring a bell or you need to wait for somebody to come forward from an office. Yep. I love the fact that this is one, big and open and welcoming, but it sounds like there's always someone here, at least somebody here to answer a question or at least connect somebody with somebody that they're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. We put her desk right here because we wanted that door to be open and they see Steph's face right there.
Absolutely.
Ready to help them with whatever they need.
Now, one thing we haven't talked about yet for the folks at home. So let's tell us a little bit about the business here in Reno as far as what on the service side and also on the material sales side, What do you guys specialize in this market?
So my Reno office is more of commercial.
Okay.
So commercial, we do chain link, lots of chain link, lots of ornamental iron. We do quite a bit of retail, over-the-counter sales.
Okay.
Do a lot of retail to other fence companies and stuff like that around. So
yeah,
try to service everybody that we can. And
so some retail, some wholesale, some service and installation.
Try to stay busy.
Yeah, well-rounded.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes sense when you see this room, right? So a lot of times you'll see a company that maybe doesn't focus on residential or retail or wholesale. Their office would look a little bit different right when you walk in.
Yeah.
So this is retail ready. There's always someone here to sell a fence part.
Yep, always. And we always have pamphlets and everything on the other side. So
I love it.
If they have options or they have questions, we can pretty much pull whatever they need and it's all right there.
I love it. They got a view out into the yard that we're going to see here in a minute.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
Well, let's continue on.
Cool. Go back here. This is the little kitchen area that we got.
Okay. Yeah. That way you can keep snacks and
keep snacks. We always keep a bunch of snacks for all the crews and everything.
There you go. There you go. I always like having a room like this. That way guys can bring lunch in and warm up, or for us it's usually breakfast.
Yeah.
To bring in breakfast, warm up, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we have a little coffee station here for them. Grab a quick snack or something on the way out. But try to keep them moving, get them jacked up for the day.
Well, and you know, if it prevents one stop at a gas station, you're already money ahead from the snacks and the coffee.
It's a lot cheaper than them hanging out at the gas station.
Yep.
And then this is my commercial estimator's office.
Okay.
My desk. And then my super social media all around guy. So
I love it.
Yeah, we're all three. It's a little tight in here, but it's organized and we don't have any miscommunications. So.
That's what I was going to say. It keeps the lines of communication open.
Yes, which is important.
That's one of the things I miss. So in our old office, it was about a 600 square foot office. There's 4 of us in it, but you knew what everyone else was doing.
Oh yeah.
Whether it was just overhearing a phone conversation or a conversation with one of the crews that came in or a customer that comes in, being in one room keeps everyone on the same page by default.
Oh yeah.
So when you start compartmentalizing, that's when you start losing a lot of it.
Yeah, we had an old office next door and that's kind of how it was. And some of the things I wasn't being told, and it was nobody's fault, just for loss of communication going through the office and running out into the field. So I wanted to bring everything closer and tighter, and I think it's made everything a lot smoother. The customers are happier and it's way better.
Absolutely. Well, and it's also a really efficient use of space.
Right.
So you've got 3 team members in a room that might, in other operations, might be one office.
Yeah.
Also, now you're tripling the output of this space here. And like we said, keeping everyone on the same page. I think that's huge.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's really, you guys are focused on that, whether it's front of the house or back of the house, it's keeping those lines of communication open and all that.
Yep.
You also have a really nice view out into the lot.
Oh yeah.
So you can keep an eye on just what's coming and going through there.
Yeah, exactly. And then the windows are all blacked out too, so you can't see in, so nobody knows what I'm watching.
Sure.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we see some pipe, we see some vinyl out there, see some wood.
Yeah, we got a little bit of everything.
So I was gonna say a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I love it.
Try to keep a little bit of everything because things happen.
Right.
You gotta have it.
Well, in no one market, I don't want to say no one market. I'm sure there are markets where companies can specialize in one thing. But I feel like even in some of the largest companies in the largest markets diversify in different things, whether it's, minimums might be chain link, wood and vinyl, and some ornamental.
Right.
It seems like they all dabble in at least those things. But,
yeah, we try to keep it full, organized as much as we can.
Absolutely.
We can go out into the weld shop here.
Okay.
This is all of our jobs for the week.
Job folders.
Incomplete jobs, if we have an incomplete gate only, so we know it's something quick.
Okay.
And then this is
everything's color coded too, it looks like.
Yeah, so by crew. So and it goes to whoever's the yellow folder, all their tools are yellow, everything matches. So there's
it's team yellow, team green.
Yes, and that's just to keep us organized, and then we can know if somebody's missing a battery, then we know where it's at.
Yeah.
So it's just
the green team has a yellow tool.
Exactly.
Where'd that green
something's
tool go?
going on there.
Sure. Got the signs up, always ready to go.
Oh yeah, always. We got those in our office too, so they're everywhere. So there's no excuse.
Sure, sure. All right, fabrication shop.
Little fab shop.
Love it.
We got a couple different tables. This is kind of our chain link table.
Okay.
We do a lot of chain link gates, so we can just have points of contact here if we're making.
You can ground out,
This is more of our iron fab table.
Okay.
It's a 5x12 half-inch sheet of solid steel. Weighs like 1,300 pounds. So,
so that table's pretty well set right there.
Yeah, we're not moving it. We won't move that table. It's staying there.
I love it. But the benefit being of it being this thick is it's nice and flat.
Yeah, and it's a perfect little workbench, and we do everything here. Safety meetings, everything's right here.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that I wanted is I like doing the safety meetings and everything in the shop. So
you always know when you're in a fence shop when you see some paint spots.
It's everywhere.
So I like that yours are just on the table. I'm not seeing any on the floor. Oh, a few on the floor.
It's all over the floor.
Okay. Now I'm feeling more at home because we've got little spots here and there. Okay.
Right.
And some plates get. Yep. I see it. I see it. This is very much fence company life right here. Is hey, listen, could we spray some green on these things and get them out the door, keep them looking good?
Exactly.
Yep. I like that.
Yeah. We got our little cut station over here.
Nice.
Try to keep that all organized, and then we have basically everything we need in here except for fittings. This is all of our fasteners and everything, so the guys can grab and go.
Tons of ventilation and access here. Doors can go up when it's super hot, sort of thing.
Yeah, and when we actually started redoing this, none of these doors worked except for this one. Oh. And my goal on a nice fall day is I want everything wide open.
Oh yeah.
So now when it's nice out, we open every single door, and we have tons of ventilation, and it's nice.
Absolutely. Keeps a nice breeze through here, I bet.
Yep. Absolutely. And then when it's too hot, then we just run this thing.
This is a beast.
Yeah.
This is a beast.
Right.
So this will blow just moist air, so damp air through the building and cools through.
Yeah, we crack that door, open this door, and it cools it off quite a bit. So.
Well, especially thinking that we're in Reno, we're in a desert, so it's very low humidity.
Oh yeah.
So having a little bit of moisture in the air makes it feel even better.
You have to.
So in Missouri, this would just be adding more moisture to the wet air. Yeah. So unfortunately, we just get stuck with regular fans.
Right.
It'd be nice if had something that worked like that.
Yeah.
But that is massive.
And then this is a work in progress fitting room.
So let's talk about work in progress for a second, because even before we started filming, you said that several times, work in progress. You know what's interesting, when I talk to fence guys from all over the country of all size of companies, everyone's always working on something. Oh, yeah. I've talked to guys that run very large organizations, multiple locations, that sort of thing, and they're working on stuff. Oh, yeah. So I think that's a commonality you see in passionate fence folks, is that they're always working on something, always making it better. Yep. So you saying this is a work in progress, I think you're light years ahead of some setups probably out in the wild right now.
Yeah, it was a lot of work to get it to this point. It was a lot of fine tuning. I'm sure that some of my yard guys weren't too appreciative of it because we ripped it out about 3 times and redid it. So
just figuring out what works.
Yeah.
Now it looks like also we've got color coding going on in here as well.
Yep. So everything vinyl is yellow. Everything wood is green.
Okay.
Everything that involves chain link is in red bins.
Nice.
It just makes it easy for the crews to grab. And then we have an entire row of nothing but red bins here because that's all chain link.
All chain link.
And then we do all of our colored fittings in white bins, and our iron fittings are all in blue bins.
Very good.
And I just like to color code everything because it just makes it quick and easy.
At a glance, you know what should be in here.
Yeah.
Hey, so we're looking for chain link, stick with the red area. Yep. Or color coded, go straight to white.
Yep. And we also did, so everything on the top rack here, overstocks up above. Okay. Everything on the bottom, overstocks below. So it's nice and easy. So we're not searching for that one box within 10,000.
Sure. And if you're needing to make an order, you can come out here, you can look for holes and say, okay, it's time to reorder for this or that. I mean, you know the items you use a lot. Oh, yeah. So you can probably take a glance, you know where things should be. Yep. Okay, we got a hole here, let's order a few cases of this and that to round out some order.
It makes it easy for me if I have to do a quick inventory because I can go through, I know exactly what I'm looking for and I know exactly where it's at. and I don't even need to make a list. I can just go through and know.
I love it.
So it saves me time.
Quite a bit of inventory here.
Yes.
That way you got what you need when you need it.
Yeah. And I have, in my Carson office, I probably have almost double of this.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I use my Carson office as a hub for my Reno office.
Okay.
Or my Winnemucca office.
Oh, okay.
So I use my Carson office to store all my overstock for Winnemucca.
Stage it, do it. Okay.
Yeah, because they come down maybe once a week or so. So
Got
it's
it.
nice to throw a couple boxes on if they need it.
Now I saw one thing I want to point out.
All right.
So, saw it somewhere. 8 5/8. Now that's a cap.
Oh yeah.
That is.
We got the post right outside.
Well, and so it's funny when you get into different markets also, and you see. So for us, a 6 5/8 would be a big post.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we use them, but that's typically the largest that we would use.
Mm-hmm.
So to come in and see 8 5/8. So Matt, if you're watching this, the post caps do get bigger. We need to find 8 5/8 uses. Yeah. So 8 5/8. You guys use those often, or?
So not too often.
Okay.
We've used them on a couple projects recently, and then my Winnemucca office, because we do a lot of mines out there.
Okay.
So the openings there are huge.
Massive. Yeah.
So we do big gates all the time, and we use 8
They
and
go
5s.
right on these.
Yeah, we stock a couple 8 and 5s up there all the time, just in case.
Yeah.
But they're
Unreal.
It's too heavy.
Incredibly
It's just
heavy. Well, it's funny. Like a fence guy will do this, walk through there and go, Wait a minute. We need to talk about this.
Yeah.
And of course the 8 5/8 brace bands.
We got everything. We have a little bit of everything here. I mean, brace bands, tension bands, 8 and 5. We got it all.
So if you guys are in the area and are looking for some 8 5/8 hardware,
Yeah.
JoeDonn's got your source. Just give him a call. Very cool. And then of course your 1 3, 1 5, 7.
Yeah, we separate die cast
Yeah.
and the press steel and all that. So
Absolutely.
try to keep a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Well, because you never know.
You never know
I
when
mean-
you're going to need a 1 7 rail.
Right.
You know,
Right.
those are so common. But we got them.
As soon as you didn't have them,
Yeah.
is when someone would come through the door wanting
Exactly.
about 20 of them for some
Exactly.
reason. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Got all your paints here.
Yep, all the paint, marking paint. We
Nice.
keep all of it on. We buy cases of it, pallets of it.
Can I tell you how much I appreciate seeing white marking paint? I've done a few videos. There's other people out there that have differing opinions on colors for, yeah, or orange.
Yeah.
I've seen a few guys use orange. White is the official color of proposed excavation. So love seeing white sitting there.
Yep, that's what we use.
I love it. All right, so next we'll probably find ourselves out here in the yard,
Yeah.
checking out the materials.
Yeah, so we'll go in the main chain link yard.
Love it.
Like I said, this is all the fasteners and everything here. So we have odd sizers, nuts and bolts, self-tappers, the wood screws that we use for metal gates. I mean,
JoeDonn, how often are we using using this?
so we have a place off a rock in Reno over here, and they built it with 2 6x6s
Okay.
butted up to each other.
Okay.
And then those posts rotted off, so we had to stub them.
Okay.
So to stub them, we set another one in there, and then threw 3 or 4 of those through it.
Married it together.
It's solid ever since.
This is by far the largest carriage bolt I have ever handled.
Like I said, we got a little bit of everything.
So if you're in the Reno area looking for massive carriage bolts, JoeDonn also has you covered for that.
Yeah.
I mean, and the standard stuff.
And the standard stuff, but nobody talks about that.
Right, the unsung fasteners. And there are the very large posts.
There they are. We got 4 of them ready to go.
8 5/8 just waiting to go.
Yep, 8 and 5, 8 by 12.
By 12s.
My guys would love to install them every day.
Yeah, maybe. And then the 6 5/8 actually look small behind the 8 5/8.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's something to see.
So we keep a good stock of them.
I guess so, yeah. Now, what's it take to bend something like this is what I want to know. Something walked away from that worse than that post did.
Yeah, that it came like that. So I don't know.
Oh, the stories it could tell.
Yeah, I'm sure it could say a couple things.
Someone has a flat forklift tire, I
For
bet, and a
sure.
bent rim.
For sure.
So first impressions is just the incredibly efficient use of space here.
Yeah.
So we've got a bunch of rail all up in the air.
Yep.
And again, we're seeing color-coded organization.
Yeah, all color-coded. So all of my 16 gauge is all red.
Okay.
All of my structural, that's all white. And then full weight is blue.
Nice.
So anything that's in a blue rack, you know, it's a full weight, so we don't have to worry about anything. And my guys,
there's no confusion.
Yeah, typically when we get the pipe, they'll spray paint the ends, so there's no confusion at all.
Yep. Well, because for a new team member that's just not as familiar,
right,
20 weight could look like 40 weight.
Exactly.
I mean, you just never know.
And that's where majority of the confusion comes through.
Yeah. Yeah.
The structural versus the full weight.
And then somebody walks into a bunch of cut up pipe and says, "Huh, why are we cutting 20 weight today?
Yeah.
I thought we were cutting 40 weight."
Exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not great. Not great.
Yeah.
That's when the blood pressure goes up.
Oh yeah, you can feel it.
So we also have pipe bundled together here.
Yeah, so this is just the older stuff that we're just getting rid of through time and old gates. People come in, they want them. We rip them off jobs or something, and somebody's always looking for a use for them. So.
We call it a make me a deal or make me an offer pile.
Yeah.
Like if you're taking the bundle, tell me what you think this is worth.
Exactly. You need a gate, 12 pack of beer.
Right, right. Well, that's the thing is like anything you offer me will be more than I'll get from the scrapyard. So
absolutely.
Give me a number and I'm probably going to be agreeable with it.
Yeah, I would much rather keep it and make a couple bucks than pennies on the...
And see it go to use again.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really the thing too. Right. So we'll do that a lot for like wood tear out. We'll set it next to the shop off on the side street, let people come take it, reuse it. And that way, we're keeping it out of the landfill, we're giving it another use, and
people use it all the time too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
Well, gates, I mean, you could think of half of 100 different reasons for gates.
Absolutely.
That aren't gates. Like they're completely different reasons than to actually use it as a gate.
Yeah, we sell a lot of them for drags. So people that have big pieces of property over here or ranches, they buy them, put some blocks on them, and drag the property.
Well, yeah, because you got, mid-weight pipe with heavy wire on it.
Yeah.
Great drag.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll hold weight and all that. I love it. I love it.
Then over here, we just got our stock pipe. So I just buy pre-cuts. And my yard guy just comes in here and refills the racks.
Got it.
We're pretty low at the moment.
Sure.
But I got about a half truckload coming in tomorrow.
Nice.
So this thing will be nice and filled up by then, and got postmasters coming in because we're getting low on the old postmasters. So.
I love seeing postmasters. I mean, I understand there's a lot of options out there. And a lot of this is like the Ford, Chevy, GMC, Ram conversation. Everybody likes the one they like. But
I like what works.
I do too. It's worked for us forever.
Yeah.
It continues to work for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we do see over here the colored pipe. So we've spray painted. That way there's zero confusion on what weight is what.
Yeah, zero confusion. So all of our pipe, I do 1 and 7 on the top, and it goes from 9 foot to 6 foot, 2 and 3 on the bottom, 9 foot to 6 foot, 2 and 7, 9 foot to about 8 foot, because typically you don't go any more than that. So, but try to keep it all organized and make it efficient.
Nice.
So the guys can pull right there, load a bunch of posts on.
Straight in. And out. I love that a lot.
So.
Then we've got the gate section. Seems like every fence company has a gate corner.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got a couple of them. But no, these are just some stock gates, some gates that we pulled off of properties. I mean, you can see some of them are old, but like I said, if we can make a couple bucks on it, then I'd much rather make a couple bucks and
help somebody out in the process.
Exactly. Yeah, because not everybody wants to buy a brand new gate for tons of money. So.
And a lot of properties don't need a brand new gate.
No, they don't.
Yeah, we'll sell a lot to farmers that are just looking to put something on a pin or what have you, that they don't want to spend or they don't need to spend. They can, because farmers are like that. They'll, at least ours, some of them they've got $100 bills wadded up, buried at who knows where, but so they can't afford it, but they don't want to. And so they would love to come in. So we call ours just orphans and misfits. They've been left on a job after we ripped it out, or we made it and somebody didn't show up to come get it. Who knows?
Yeah, which some of these are
orphans and misfits. But I mean, they're bound for a future somewhere. We just need to find the right person that needs a gate.
As long
make
as
them a deal.
somebody's using it.
Yeah,
that's what matters. So yard here is pretty tight.
Yeah.
You can tell, especially with all the trucks parked in here.
Sure. But again, I mean, look at how much material's here.
Yeah,
I mean, for a lot this size, this is a tremendous amount of inventory.
Yeah, we try to keep a lot of everything. I mean, because like I said, we do a lot of chain link, but retail, we do a lot of ranch wire, T-posts, barbed wire. I mean, everything. We try to keep a little bit of everything on hand because you never know when you're going to need it.
Well, that's it. And I think some of it probably is left over from the pandemic era where you couldn't just go order something and it showed up.
Yeah.
I think we still find ourselves ordering that way sometimes. It's like, well, it's available now. We ought to go ahead and buy it. Yeah. Well, it'll probably be available 6 months from now too.
Yeah, you kind of get a little worried because you weren't able to get it for a while.
Right. I've been told no before, so I don't want to be told no again. Right. Well, because then that means we have to tell the customers no.
Yeah. And they don't want it. The second you say no to them, they're going to be going to the next guy.
Yep. Yeah, because then it's not about price, it's about availability.
Yep.
So they might go to someone else that's a little bit higher, but if they've got it available, so we want to be those guys. Yeah. Have it available. Mm-hmm. All right, we got a good amount of wood here too.
Yeah, we
split rail?
Yep, we do a lot of retail and split rail.
Okay.
And we used to install a ton of it, not so much anymore. But
interesting.
People buy it all the time, so we always have a good stock of it.
I love it when we get close to a cedar area because you can just that smell of cedar is so good.
Yeah. But we always, in my Carson City office, we stock a lot of 2-rail, split rail. And
okay.
So I mean, we retail quite a bit of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Got a bunch of pickets, bunch of rails.
Actually, we're getting low on pickets.
Okay.
Yeah. Typically, we try to keep dog ear at least 26 pallets in.
No kidding.
Yeah, so we're getting a little low, but we're...
and that's probably a mixture of installed and retail?
Yes. Yeah, so we don't have too much retail on the wood side of it. We're starting to pick, because we didn't offer it because of COVID.
Sure.
We weren't able to get the lumber that fast. Yep. So we stopped doing retail sales on it. Now we're starting to implement that again, and it's starting to pick up a little bit. But we'll get geared up for it.
Absolutely. Again, I wish smell-o-vision was a thing.
Yeah.
And have you guys smell just this area we're in.
Yeah.
So good. And we've also got the handy dandy concrete mixers.
Oh yeah.
Beasts.
Got a brand new one sitting here ready to go out, and then we got the older one that's used and abused.
Yep. Well, that's the thing is, that thing's it could be older than I am, but they last and last and last. My granddad had a truck mounted one. It was on a 3-ton truck or something, 2.5 ton, whatever. And man, that thing it was probably old as he was. Yeah. And it just, I mean, every now and then you'd have to replace the gear because you'd break off teeth of it on it. But those things are just beasts. Yeah, they go and go. As long as you keep them cleaned out.
As long as you keep them cleaned out. I've been in there a few times in the old metal ones and with a little chisel trying to chisel all the old concrete, and it's a nightmare.
Oh, forget about it.
Yeah, I was less than thrilled about that.
Yep, it sure reminds you to clean them out.
Yeah. So.
Bunch of Saccharine ready to go.
Oh yeah, we buy it by the truckload, and we get a truckload for probably every couple weeks, every 3 weeks. Yeah. So it just makes it nice and easy for the guys. We're not worried about sand and gravel. The sand and gravel, those times have come and gone.
Well, that's the thing is, so the truck that mixer was mounted on was a mixed truck. Yeah. So we'd have piles of Portland, sand, gravel, and it was just getting the right mix, a consistent mix, and the mix always varied depending on who was mixing. Right. So you'd know, hey, send so-and-so to go mix, because this other guy's mix always comes out too wet or not wet enough, or so inconsistent, to say the least.
I just didn't like it on the trucks. We'd get in the generators and the welders, and then it would freeze, and then you have this big block of sand and gravel that you're messing with.
Well, and you're also in front of a property, whether it's residential or commercial. Yeah. Commercial, maybe you're around the corner, but residential are always right up front. Right. And that's not the most glamorous part of building a fence is mixing the concrete. Not at all. So pre-bagged gets you a consistent mix every time. It's also incredibly convenient that it just shows up ready to work.
Oh yeah, and they bag it right in Carson, so it's not too far away.
Nice. Yeah. Very nice. Fair amount of chain link.
Yeah, chain link. We actually got a truckload coming in pretty quick because we're getting a little low. We've been through a lot of 6'11" and a lot of 6'9". So I try to keep a ton of that in stock.
Yep. Well, and you were saying too that your suppliers are right down the road too.
Yeah, they're just over the hill in Sacramento, so it's about 2 hours away.
Okay.
So you make a phone call on a Monday, you'll get it either
later that week,
Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't generally need to keep a large store of your common, I would almost say commodity, type wire, your 6.9s, 411s, yeah. It seems like everyone has, at least right now that we're out of COVID, everyone's got a lot full of that wire. All the distributors do.
Yeah, which is good for us now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, guys, this is one thing that you see on the West Coast of the United States. The only place I've seen it. So these are gigantic slats. Right. The 3-inch or 4-inch?
2-inch slats.
2-inch slats. So, and it comes pre-slotted.
Yep.
So the machines for this, so when we were at Burgandy looking at wire weaving machines, they had a machine that was set up. It weaves the wire, and then, so if you guys have watched the channel, you've seen our Burgandy machine. It's just another module that sits on the end of that that just sticks these slats in before it rolls it up. Mm-hmm. I don't know why these haven't caught on anywhere else. It's very much a West Coast thing.
Yeah.
But these big chunky privacy slats, I mean, I understand you can find slotted wire elsewhere. I'm not saying that is unique, but big, thick, wide slats, and it looks really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, those aren't even the privacy ones. The privacy ones are the ones that we don't like using. It looks good when they're up, but it's a nightmare to get it up.
Well, so this is what we're talking about here, right? Great for privacy. Yeah. These slats are great. Now, they're also awful to try to service because of the privacy. Because they're just jammed against the knuckles on here, the elbows.
Trying to get them in there and back in, it's impossible.
Oh, yeah, absolutely awful. I can only imagine, because I mean, we're used to, 3/4 inch, 1-inch slats, that sort of thing. I can't imagine 2-inch slat trying to jam that through. Unreal. It looks like it's all 9 gauge.
Yep.
Nice.
All 9 gauge. Nice. The only thing that changes is the selvage, which is either knuckle or it's just pigtail. But
Interesting.
It's nice, but when you're unloading it, sometimes it hooks. So
they're big.
You got to be careful with it. Yeah.
See it grabbing. Very interesting. That's something I haven't seen before. Pigtail selvage.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
It's a lot easier weaving.
Oh, is it really? Yeah. And the wire continues.
Wire continues.
Nice. Yeah, so a lot of trucks here.
Yeah.
How many crews you guys run?
So out of this office, we have 7 right now.
Okay.
Carson, we have 3, and then Winnemucca, we have a couple.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit more equipment to kind of make it easier so we don't have so much manpower.
Yeah.
And make it easier on the guys.
Well, because that's pretty consistently throughout the United States, that's a consistent complaint, is that finding the talented workforce is incredibly difficult.
Right, and the guys that I have now, they're awesome.
Yeah.
And if it makes their job easier getting a piece of equipment, I want to buy that piece of equipment.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and because if you can scale, how much that dream team can do, then you're all the better for it.
Yeah.
That, and that's one thing we talk about at our company is, guys, we're not doing this to replace you. We are doing this to enhance you.
Yeah.
Right? To enhance your ability to build fence. Yeah. Because again, I feel much the same about our team, is we've got a dream team assembled.
Yeah.
And let's not try to go out and look for B squad players. If we've got the A squad, the varsity, let's just keep you guys in and give you the tools you need to be productive and still go home and not, lay up on the couch for an hour trying to get right, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd rather them be in the tractor than breaking their backs out in the field.
Yeah, investing in the team is money that will just compound back. Yeah. Absolutely.
It makes their job more efficient. So
one thing I've noticed about the layout, so we've got 2 U's, it looks like. We've got a big loop and a little loop.
Yep.
That way, if you've got somebody loading up, you can still keep crews moving through here.
Yeah, we try to, so I got the big gate over there. We actually cut the wall out and installed a big roll gate there. And then we got this gate so I can constantly have a flow of trucks going around, and just makes it easier with the forklift and everything, because our yard's so tight that, I mean, you see with the trucks in here, it's 1-lane traffic through, and you try to shove a forklift picking up a pallet of wire or something, and it gets tight quick.
Oh yeah.
So trying to make it efficient to where it's not that much property, but to make it efficient so everybody can load up in here at the same time. It's
huge.
It's nice to have the different options of pulling in and out.
Well, and it also makes it nice on your retail side.
Yeah.
I mean, the customer experience on that has to be better.
Yeah.
To being able just to drive through.
We got the old pipe cutter here.
Nice. Oh yeah. So if you guys watched the channel, you saw we broke one of these out. Man, we had one that my granddad had from back in the day, and I don't know why it got put up, but we brought it back out and plugged it in.
Now also too, you can tell what a clean cut that is. There's no burrs or...
That is actually really nice, and it does bevel it slightly too.
Those things are workhorses.
Oh yeah.
They're absolutely nuts.
Yeah, the one that we have in Carson, I think we've had it moving since probably mid 80s.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's still going. We'll buy parts here and there, but other than that, it's still cutting pipe.
Well, yeah, there's a handful of replacement parts, if that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got one wear part.
Right.
So, yeah, as long as you keep your blades in stock, and it's a nice cut too.
Yeah.
You don't worry about shards. You don't worry about any of that.
Exactly.
Any slivers coming off of it.
Doing it with a chop saw, and you have like a razor blade on the end.
Yeah. Not to mention all the sparks and all that flying off of it. So we've now teleported to the other side of the property, the other side of the building. I absolutely love this part. Seeing a really nice demo yard or a sample yard, different people call them different things.
Yep.
I love this so much.
Yeah, I just wanted something that the customers could come out and just see what it's going to look like in a year.
Oh yeah.
And
well,
I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty much what it is.
You let them walk up and touch and feel and shake and yeah, okay, that's what I want. I want it to have the concave, or I want it to have the quad flare finials, or whatever.
Yep, and that's what I wanted. That's what my vision was. So when the customers pull in, they can see the shorter panels, and then it goes up to 6 foot, so they can see a little bit of everything that we got.
Yeah, and a range of different styles, materials.
Yep.
And this is obviously probably not all of it, but a good showing of what the different options are.
Yeah, we wanted to have a few options here and there. And like everything else, it's a work in progress.
Sure,
We'll get different stuff in, different displays, and we'll put it in.
Absolutely.
But I just wanted the customers to come in and visualize what the fence is gonna look like at their house. Instead of seeing a small little 2x2 display that somebody will send you, we'll just build the real thing.
Well, and you probably watch your cameras and you'll see people pull up on a Saturday or Sunday just kind of looking around and getting ideas. We get a lot of window shoppers in on the weekends that just want to stop by and look, and I almost feel like it's like a car lot where they don't want to be approached. They just want to look and see what, they're in the planning stage sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I like this a lot. I like it a lot. And you can rotate through like you were saying, and if you have, one style that's just becoming really predominant, show it, and have one that you really want to phase out, that could always swap out as well.
The styles just depend on what Pinterest says.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, you can watch Pinterest and kind of gauge what your future demand is going to be like in about 3 months or so. Yeah, what projects are out there.
Yep.
Very good.
Cool.
Looks like we've got some more supply back here.
Yeah, so this is our ornamental iron area. And this is basically just stock.
So real quick, these are the winged slats, the privacy slats that we saw over on the other side.
Yep.
So they give you, as close to privacy as you're going to get with a slat.
Yep.
One of the complaints we get sometimes with tube slats is, well, that's not privacy at all.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times that's not the idea, is 100% privacy.
Right.
But these, I don't know what they're actually rated at, but probably 90% privacy or something like that.
Yeah, everybody says something different.
Sure.
It just depends on the supplier that you talk to.
Yeah, right.
So,
well, yeah, but these are going to be as close to privacy as you can get.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's just something about that wider profile on that slat that looks so nice on a taller fence.
Yeah, absolutely.
So rest of the country, let's build out this product line. Let's launch this. That'd be great. All right, yeah, so we're in the iron side now.
Yep, this is all just ornamental iron, and it's 6 foot, 10 foot panels, 8 foot panels biased, and then standard Regal, 10 foot at 8 foot, 6 foot, 5 foot, 4 foot, 3.5, and 3. And I typically keep to a unit to 2 units in stock all the time.
Okay, yeah, there's a good amount just sitting here.
Yeah, our retail on this is, we sell a pretty good volume of this.
Nice.
And we install quite a bit of it. And so we try to keep a ton of it in stock. We got 6x6 posts in stock, all powder coated, ready to roll. So, I mean, we try to be ready for everything.
Now it looks like, so your market looks like it's predominantly 2-rail.
That's it.
Smooth top, smooth bottom.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Man, I tell you what, it's, you know, and I understand every market's different, but ours, some of them want smooth, some of them want picket top, some of them want 2-rail, 3-rail. Puppy picket's a big thing right now that everyone's wanting. Like, if I could just narrow you guys down to 1 style or 2 styles, I would be good with 2 styles. Because what happens is you always end up with these orphan piles. Like, because we'll bring in a panel or 2 extra, a couple posts extra, because you never know when the project's going to grow. You can confirm measurements all you want to. The project's going to grow occasionally. When they see the flags and see the paint on the ground, they go, well, what if we moved it forward to enclose this window? Well, if you're 4 weeks out on ordering some sort of custom material, it's always better to say, I've got the panels on hand.
And it's always 1 or 2 panel that you have to order.
It's always. And so you're left, because you're left with a job that's 98% done. You're waiting on 2 panels, 2 posts. Can't get paid on it. It's not done yet. So, I mean, I guess you could run that. On the commercial side, you'd run that as a change order, you'd bill out. But on the residential side, you're stuck. Until that thing gets done, you're pretty much done. So I say that to say you always end up with a couple extra panels from every job. If you're running 1 style, well, beautiful. Let's restock them. I mean, as long as they're presentable, clean it up and all that.
Well, we in my Carson City yard, we have this huge stack of those panels.
Yep.
And it's probably about a 30 by 30 area.
Is that right?
It's a bunch of random panels, and we've actually gone through and we've sold them. So I'm gonna keep them.
Yeah. Well, having 1 style though, at least here, really gives you the ability to restock what you don't use and really, again, make the most efficient use of your space. Because we're not sitting in a large area, but we're looking at a lot of inventory that's in this one area.
We put a lot of thought into this too. So our forklift is from the tip of the forks to the back of the forklift. It's about 16 feet.
Okay.
And we're 16 and a half feet here.
So, just enough.
It's tight, but that was the way we had to do it to make it work.
Yeah.
So I mean, we thought about it and we measured out the spot, and this is what we came up with.
Just an intentional use of space. Got everything labeled on the ground. That way, even a new team member out here will know these are the 5 by 8 panels.
Yep, and that's the same thing with the posts and everything on the other side. Is everything's labeled, so if they don't have their tape, if they left it on the forklift, whatever, they don't have to run around and find one. They just know exactly where it's at, and then customers get loaded up and then they're out of it.
There's also no guessing.
There's no
Takes all the guesswork out of it, which is where I think if you look at margin of error, I think a lot of margin of error lives in that guesswork space. Is, well, I looked at it, I could have swore that was a full weight. Like, well, no, that was 20 weight, but by all means, or vice versa. But really efficient use of space. Again, another new truck. So you guys, again, investing in equipment.
Yep. So we got that one. We got to get the bed on it and then get it out in the field. Get some graphics in the bed.
Absolutely. So are you guys finding it easier now to invest in equipment? I know during like the pandemic, that was really up in the air.
It was, nobody really knew what was going on. So we were all just kind of waiting for something to happen. And then once we started coming out of it a little bit, and then we started buying equipment and then slowly moving forward. I mean, we got Mud Hog, the chain link stretcher. We got all that stuff now.
Nice.
Just trying to make it to where the guys are more efficient. So it makes their job easier, everything's go faster, and then we can just move on to the next one.
Oh, and you can scale, like I said, scale the amount of fence you can build with your already built dream team, your varsity team. No need, because there's a whole thing when you start bringing on B team, that B team and A team typically don't mix, right? Or
they clash.
They do. Yeah. They do. So if you can just keep it all varsity, all A team, not even worry about B team or B squad, then you're all the better for it.
Yeah, that's what we try to do.
Absolutely. But also give them the tools to where they can scale what they do, and they also don't tear themselves up in the process.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's because in my granddad's day, 40 or 50 years old out on an install crew was pretty old.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but that's also when we're breaking rock by hand, or they were breaking rock by hand, they were digging it by hand and all that.
It's hard on your body, on your joints and 100%. Everything. I mean,
and lifting all that. I mean, we didn't have mini skids to deliver pallets of concrete around a job site.
Right.
That was going on your shoulder and you were walking that around.
That's how it was when I started.
Yeah.
6'9" gauge, you roll it from the truck onto the shoulder and you're walking. We weren't walking too far, but we were walking.
Yeah. But that was a normal then.
Yeah.
Right. It was trucks that were questionably, whether they would run on a given morning. At least in our operation, when I was a kid, you didn't know which trucks were going to run that day, or if they're going to make it there and back, sort of thing. Or there's one of ours had a hole in the middle seat, so the new guy had to sit in the middle.
Oh yeah.
But it's funny as looking at an industry to see how far we've come.
Yeah.
I mean, in realistically, not a long amount of time.
Not really. I mean, I started out in the field in 2007, and the truck I started when I was a foreman, it was an old Ford, 90s Ford.
Yeah.
The only reason I picked that truck is because it had a heater. It wasn't the most reliable truck, but it had a heater.
The heater worked.
That's what I wanted. I wanted the heater. The summer I was fine, but in the winter I wanted that heater.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it was a questionable truck, but that's what I had, and we made it work.
Well, that's it, and that was the norm.
Yeah.
That was the norm. It's funny. I'm starting. You always make fun of your parents from when they told you back in the day stories.
Yeah.
You kind of roll your eye like, oh yeah. Oh, uphill both ways. Yeah, you bet it's snow all year, sure.
Yeah.
But now we're like, you know what? When I started building fence, and when I say that, I catch myself like,
It's full circle.
I know how that sounded. Like, oh, that's what that feels like saying that instead of hearing that. But I mean, that was kind of the reality then. That was the normal then, and his equipment just wasn't very high on the important list.
I mean, equipment, tools, everything.
Yeah.
I remember everything that we had doing ornamental panels. It was all corded drills.
Yeah.
And those things would snap your wrist. And now we got the nice impacts and all that stuff. So.
Well, and if you guys were like us, they weren't new. We would go to auctions and we'd find like tool auctions and buy a lot of like 10 corded power drills. Like, what are we doing with 10 of these things? But they didn't all work. Like 4 of them worked. And you could salvage parts from the old ones on the new ones. That always seemed to mystify me. Like, why are we taking time when we could be building fence to fix power tools?
Right.
But anyway, it was a different time.
Yep.
And it's not better, not worse. It was just a different time.
Yep. Now we're getting updated and making it more efficient.
That's right. That's right. Goal. Now here in Reno, is this a seasonal market for you guys, or it's a 12-month a year market?
12-month.
Nice.
So we're going nonstop.
Okay.
The only one that kind of slows down is my Winnemucca office because it gets pretty cold up there.
Got it.
It's not too far away, but the weather up there, it's cold and windy, so it's hard to keep the guys moving.
Yep.
So that one slows down a little bit, but here in Carson, we stay going all year round.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, JoeDonn, how can people get a hold of you? They got questions, if they've got comments or whatever, how do people get in touch with you?
Well, Phil, he does all of our social media, so you can reach out on social media, or you can go to artisticfence.com and reach out through there, and we can get you a quote and show you some options. You can come down, check out the display area, and see what we got.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. JoeDonn, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me out.
Thank you.
Guys, if you're interested in having us come tour your lot, drop us an email. We'll link it in the description below. If we're in the area for, say, a trade show, we'd love to stop by and see your layout. Again, JoeDonn, I appreciate you being so grateful, opening everything up and showing us everything. As a fence guy, like, I think this is stuff we geek out on.
Oh, yeah.
And we look at it going, okay, yeah, we could implement this and we could implement that. Yeah. So I hope you guys at home are getting the same golden nuggets I've gotten out of this. Again, like I said, I appreciate you making it available to everyone at home.
Yeah, I'm glad you stopped by.
Absolutely. All right, guys, for now, Joe Everest, the fence expert.
JoeDonn Dietrich, Artistic Fence.
Reminding you that good fences
make good neighbors.
And we'll see you next time.